How's it going? I'm Exaltron. What I'm doing today is I'm going to show you how to do a kind of freestyle of a funky drummer or a breakbeat. A little bit about how I got into this. I've been programming drums for about 15 years. Started with drum machines and later moved on to MIDI programming with Logic and Ableton. One of the issues that I've had is it's very hard to get like a live feel when you're programming MIDI due to the fact that you're layering different beats. You have to lay down the hi-hat, lay down the snare. And another thing is that what I wanted to do was get some live drumming into my live set. So because I'm playing live trumpet, live guitar, I figured, get some drumming in there as well. So a little bit about the kind of the history of the funky drummer. It's basically just, it's like a James Brown, it's named after a James Brown song, but a lot of people refer to those sort of break beats, 60s, 70s soul. Clyde Stubblefield is one of the more famous drummers, Bernard Purdie, and of course the Amen break is G.C. Coleman. So I've always wanted to kind of get that sound without having to always sample those drummers, and also to be able to play it live. So so one of the things I looked at is what is different about these beats, what really makes them so unique and so in demand. And what I found is, I guess the best way is to contrast with like a hip-hop beat. So hip-hop beat, it's usually like just a straight hi-hat like that, and then just like kick and snare. So what I wanted to kind of look at is what's going on in that funky drummer and that breakbeat sound that's different. And what I found is a lot of these drummers, especially someone like Bernard Purdie, they use a lot of interstitial snare work to kind of give it more dynamics and more propulsion. So in between the beat, they're basically giving you like a little bit of snare. So what I've done here to get that sound is I got basically a kick drum here. I used my ring finger, my middle finger is snare, my index finger is hi-hat, and then I have another snare drum over here which is like a very soft snare. And the purpose of that is to be able to get the dynamics that a normal drummer can hit that snare really hard, hit it really soft. I can't really do that with a pad. It's not really the same sound, whereas that's like a really soft snare sound. And I also have like a ride here. So what I can do is kind of hit that snare, hit that hi-hat on all the beats, and work in that soft snare, and also work in some ride cymbal as well. So that's basically how I figured out how to do it. That works really well for me in terms of, how that sort of feels to me in terms of my dexterity. So I'm going to show you in live how I achieve that. Basically, I'm using a chain here with impulse, and these basically, all these slots are hardwired to, I believe it's C3 to C4. So there's a lot of ways that you can deal with that if you have a pad that's set up. If your pad is by default set up to all the white keys on a keyboard, what you can do is just use one of these MIDI utilities to crank up the pitch. I use a 36. Basically, it's an increase of 36 steps here, so that I don't have to mess around with the pad. You can also, most of these pads come with an basically like a computer editor, so that you can define what the pad is sending. So the sound is obviously very important. I really like that snare. It's like a really kind of old school snare. And all of these are found in Ableton. This is a really good kit. It's called the British Vintage kit. And what you do is you need to go into samples, waveforms, drums, and then you have all your different drums here, your kick. So you have to actually pull these from the individual folders. So I think this one here is British Vintage Felt. It's probably Felt Soft. So that's hard. And so basically I just loaded these up. There's that, that snare on the index, hi-hat on the other index finger, that's that stronger snare on my middle finger, and the kick that I'm using my ring finger. So that's basically it. That's how you set that up. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email on YouTube or find me on Facebook. It's Exaltron, E-X-A-L-T-R-O-N. Thank you.